Hello, Pasolivo family. It's Eleanor. Hi there. Happy Friday to everyone. We are here with another Pasolivo Kitchen Cuisine Sweet Treat edition today. And the sweet treat today is gelato, olive oil gelato, no less, and gelato panini. So let's wrap our brains around that for a second because what, right? Hopefully I will not be the only one getting clarification on this. We are going to have, hey, hi, there you are. Welcome.
Hi.
It's so nice to see you without a mask on. Isn't this
Yeah.
fun?
Likewise.
COVID appropriate.
Sorry, let me adjust this. We're at the house that I grew up in to do this.
Oh my gosh, did you have to break in or do you guys still have it?
No. Back door is always unlocked.
Okay, fine. Great. Let's get the address for that so we can all roll in and we'll come hang out. Niccolo, I'm not gonna lie. I've got this whole script and there's a whole lot of words that I'm going to slaughter. First being your job, a gelatier. What can you please?
Yes. So
are you
in Italian, somebody who makes gelato is called a gelatiere.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that is not cool. I need everything phonetically written down from here on out. Okay. So you're that, and because you have, I mean, it doesn't take much to fall in love with gelato versus ice cream. It's just a whole other level. I think anybody who has come to your place recognizes that. You know, buying something at the store versus coming to you is just worlds different. What is the difference between a gelato and an ice cream?
So gelato typically has a lower overrun, so there is less air. We also have a lower butterfat than ice cream, and there is less sugar. Traditionally, though, the ingredients would have been just cream, sugar, and eggs. But over the years, it's kind of changed, like I'm sure a lot of other recipes have for other cuisines of the world. And so you'll find now that you're using whole milk with some cream, sugar, and then my gelato doesn't have any eggs in it, and that's only because I wanted to be able to address the fact that a lot of people have egg allergies, and of course we don't want to exclude anyone from being able to enjoy the gelato.
Oh, okay. That all makes sense. So what is in place of the eggs, or does it just not need it, or how does that work?
Yeah, so the eggs are natural stabilizers. So instead, you can use all natural gums. So carrageenan, guar gum. They're just from agave plants. I mean, you can use all sorts of different products out there that are all plant based.
Huh. Oh, that's great. So that means that, well, vegetarian, right?
Right, so gelato is not going to be a vegetarian option, but all of our sorbets are.
Okay.
Because they are dairy free, and we do have we use actually a splash of pasteurized egg white, which can be used for frothing purposes for cocktails. You get the same sort of results when you use it in a sorbet, so you get kind of a creamier texture, but it's all pasteurized. So at my scoop shop in Paso Robles at the Paso Market Walk, we do have purely vegan options, and so yeah, I mean you can make things in so many different ways these days. So it's just depends on which route you want to go.
And I do want to kind of give a nod, and I'm just super thankful that you do have a scoop shop now, because any of us who have tried to follow you and your goods for a while, it was kind of this goose chase of where is it? I need to hammer down like where this stuff is, because once you get a favorite flavor, because I have a few, it's like maddening to try to find it. And now you are in one spot and we can come to you whenever we want. So we're in a better place now, because I think I speak for a lot of us. So how long have you guys been around?
We've been in business for the last 10 years. We've been focusing on food service for the last 10 years. and food service, meaning we service restaurants, hotels, resorts, and so we service all these accounts direct. We go as far north as Lake Tahoe. We go as far south as San Diego. And then we have some accounts in the valley. And then we also service a number of properties in Las Vegas. So if you are in any one of those places, feel free to just email me and I'll direct you to where you can go. And then right now we're trying to develop more of a robust gelato pint program that we will want to develop and showcase within the Rolfs and the Bonds and the Albertsons. So those are kind of our main focuses right now. So yeah, and we're just wandering through the area, so we're around.
That is that's amazing. I had no idea that Lake Tahoe not only had Lake Tahoe but also had Leo Gelato. It's that's unfair, really. I mean, I feel like that should be our thing, but okay, fine. Fine, we're gonna share it with everybody. You're welcome, everybody. So you have Italian background, which is why you are drawn to this, which is why you've got that passion for it, because you've grown up eating gelato. You've got an Italian father and the grandmother, an American grandmother, and you guys all got together and created Leo Gelato. What's in the name?
Well, so Leone in Italian means lion, and I've always been obsessed with the Lion of San Marco. And I mean, it doesn't have any tie to Florence, but I've always loved that particular lion. And so it was supposed to be a play on words, Leo Gelato. And so that was kind of where, and I think it's probably actually the hardest part about starting a business is trying to figure out what you want to call it.
I'm a Leo, so I am fully in support of the name. So, I mean, thumbs up from all of us August kids. We like it. It speaks to us. Speaking to us and words that I can't pronounce, I have my my post-it from yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Schiacciata.
Yes.
Did I nail it?
Yes.
Okay, yes. I wrote it down phonetically, folks, because that is a word I don't even want. The way that it's written has nothing to do with how it's said, but let's just put it out there.
Yeah, it's hard to pronounce, but yeah, Schiacciata.
And it's a type of bread, and it's a savory bread, right?
It is.
And you're uniting it with something sweet, which I love this idea of the crunchy, salty, savory with the smooth, creamy, sweet. I mean, just that balance of that marriage of flavors and mouthfeel. That sounds amazing to me. Again, we all know now that your door is unlocked, so watch out. Like if you see this camera start to move, that's because I'm getting in my car and I'm coming over for it. So we'll let you know. Don't make it look too delicious, okay?
All right.
I'm gonna stand down. I'm excited to watch this magic happen. You're using our Tuscan. Hi, I'm back. Our Tuscan olive oil for not only the Schiacciata, but also the ice cream, the gelato as well.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Okay, so olive oil everywhere today in a whole new way. All right, so I'm passing it over. It's on you. All
right.
Show us how it's done.
Okay, well, first I'm going to need to introduce you all also to my wife, Carrie, who...
Hi, wife, Carrie.
Hi.
Hello.
So for whatever reason, these last 2 years, we've been really wanting to try to perfect the art of making schiacciata, and Carrie has done a fantastic job at doing so. And so I was going to have her make the schiacciata, and then I was going to go ahead and show you all how to make the gelato. And so I guess without any further ado,
we're going to stick to our specialties?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Carrie again. I have been working with Niccolo's father in the schiacciata because he'll make it every once in a while, and I fell in love with it. And I kind of just started making it and kind of messing with it. And it's really easy to do so, and so therefore it just is something you can have for breakfast, lunch, dinner, midnight snack, with gelato sandwiches, whatever works. So, that being said, it is really, really simple. and it's really savory. It doesn't take very much time. So we have basic ingredients. We have the flour, water, yeast, olive oil, and then you can add a little bit of salt to taste as well.
Does it have to be a special kind of flour? I always get stumped up when they're talking about all the different types of layouts. There's semolina and there's self-rising and all this stuff, and then I'm like, pass. That sounds like Martha Stewart stuff to me that I can't handle. So where are we at with the flour?
Well, thanks to the pandemic, we actually have experimented with whatever flour we can get our hands on.
Right.
And so I've done the basic white flour. I've done, we recently did a couple of batches with wheat flour, which I really like. It's more savory if you like bran muffins, stuff like that. And then we have the bread flour as well. You can do, you can do gluten-free flours if you would like to, and just kind of experiment and see how it goes. You might have a difference in consistency, but you kind of watch it and see what it looks like and then kind of experiment from there. I will admit, with the amount of times that I've made this, especially lately, I actually had to measure so that I could tell people what to put in it. Because if you learn from an Italian, he uses words like, just like this much, and just do this, and then it happens. And I'm like trying to figure out how to write notes, which makes it really fun. Okay, so I'm going to do a basic recipe that would start with 2 cups of flour and 1 cup of water.
Bowl.
Bowl. Check.
Bowl. Okay, so you can do it 2 different ways, and I've tried it different ways just to see, some people when they're baking, they're kind of afraid of what's going on because if you've missed a step, are you completely ruining it? And that's not the case. This is a very forgiving recipe. So I've tried it both ways. I've tried it where you're actually adding the dry ingredients together and then you add in the wet ingredients. I've tried it where you dissolve the yeast into the water with the olive oil, and it all seems to kind of come out the same. So that being said, whatever works for you, there are these old wives' tales of you have to dissolve this, you have to do that, you have to have warm water. Warm water is fine, and so is cold. So whatever works. Okay.
I'm going to say it right now. This is my kind of baking because it just scares me because when you follow any of the other recipes, it's like you must, and especially if it's coming from the Italians, it's like, what are you doing? This is ridiculous what you're doing right now. Yes. And I mean, yeah, if you can actually pull it off, whether, lukewarm, what is lukewarm? So thank you for talking to us laymen. I really appreciate it.
Well, I myself am a layman, and I've learned from quite a particular Italian when it comes to certain recipes. We've had some fun conversations about why is this so important and why is this not important at all. And this is a recipe where it really is forgiving, which is great for me because almost every time it turns out. And the only time it doesn't is if I completely walk away from the oven and it's going, and even then it still tastes delicious, even if it's a little bit too brown. So I'm going to go ahead and start here. We have a cup of water, and then we already have actually a little bit, just like a tablespoon or so, whatever you want. If you really like a lot of olive oil, which I really do, then you can, add a little bit heavier splash. But this is a cup of water with a little bit of olive oil. And then you have about a tablespoon of yeast. And this is basically also forgivable because if you like a really fluffy dough, then I add more yeast. If you really want more of a less fluffy, more crunchy dough, then you add a little bit less yeast. So I'm going to add this together and just stir. And like I said, you can do either way. It doesn't really matter. I've been experimenting, just knowing that I, had to be on TV today. So I was just trying to be a little bit more prepared. Okay, and then you have 2 cups of dough. So I'm sorry, 2 cups of flour. So you basically, whatever you're doing, you're going to be doing twice as much flour as you are water. Opposite of rice. Same with rice?
Opposite.
I don't know. I'm not cooking rice. Okay.
Don't confuse us.
Ask someone else about rice.
That's the next show. No, it's not. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then you're just going to mix it all together. It's not hard at all.
It's super simple. You
just mix it until it looks like basically the consistency of pizza dough, which, by the way, I've used this as pizza dough, and it's delightful.
Nice.
It's so easy. Anything you want to do, it works. So you just mix it all together until you have it basically no more dry chunks of the flour. And also too, in this, there was a dash of salt. You can do more salt if you'd like to. We also put salt and olive oil on the outside of it, on the top and the bottom. So there's...
And then more salt at the very end, and olive oil.
That's him. I do the olive oil. Yeah, it's the salt. So it's basically going to be a really easy consistency. So as long as you do double the flour to the water, it should be completely fine. And so that's what it should look like. Then you're going to take this and just cover it and keep it in a, generally when you're talking about bread, you want to keep it in the dark and in a warmer climate, climate environment. It helps rise. You can do it for 6 hours to anywhere from 6 hours to overnight. Normally, if I'm going to have something for dinner, unless it's the weekend, I'm not waking up early to make bread before I go to work. So overnight is really easy. It doesn't really make a difference. So when you're done with that, what we will usually do is you'll see that it's risen and it basically doubles in size. And after that, you just basically take everything out. You just kind of do one little twirl, let the bubbles rest, and then you're going to put it in a pan of your choosing that it has a slight layer of olive oil and a little bit like a dusting of salt. And so this is what it looks like after the fact, and it's ready to go in the oven. I like to add more olive oil on the top and the bottom. The bottom is for...
Thankfully, we have our Pasolivo olive oil for that.
Ta-da!
So handy.
Oh, cheers. The bottom is basically so that it's not going to stick to the pan. The top is just so it makes it taste better. And then you add more. And then you dip. And then you chug. Whatever you want to do. I do it all.
This is it's a health food, so you can do all of the above. This is basically like yummy medicine.
Yeah, I'm feeling very healthy right now. So you're just going to add this a little bit to the top. When you take it out of the bowl, as you know, dough is sticky. So what I usually do is I take the olive oil, stick it in your cuticles, whatever you want to do. Take your olive oil, and you'll be able to kind of scrape the bowl and bring it all in as one lump. And then what you can do is put the olive oil over the top of it, and then when you're pushing it into the area, the idea of the Schiacciata is that it maintains this consistency where you have the little holes. And then what you can do, it really is to taste, but you just add a little bit more olive oil or not, whatever, it's fine. But then it can kind of fill in those holes, and then you add a little bit of salt, stick it in the oven, and it's amazing. Okay.
So are you using like a kosher salt, like a chunkier salt?
Yes.
You can do both. What I would suggest when it comes to longevity, we've also been kind of experimenting with salts as well. We have like a chunkier Himalayan salt that we've been using. Obviously know your salt preference, because some of those other salts are really extra salty. So after being engrossed in an Italian family for this long, my salt capacity has really skyrocketed. And so therefore, say maybe I made this bread 5 years ago, I would use less salt. But I really like the chunky salt because you can really taste it. If you let it go for maybe the next day, salt can tend to, on the top of bread, kind of give it a little bit too much moisture, because it is a pretty moist bread. So whatever you choose, though, we've used truffle salt, which is amazing. So many salt options. And then I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil, because you got to fill in those holes.
And as you're pouring, you guys chose, for our audience, everybody who is on this basically has carte blanche coming into the store and looking at our products and picking out what they want to use. So you guys chose the Tuscan, which is the biggest, boldest out of our 4 extra virgin olive oils. Why did you guys choose this one out of the 4?
Well, that was kind of more my decision. It is bold, but it's also it's still middle of the road. I don't know. I like a very pure olive oil that's just true to form. I mean, honest. I mean, so that was kind of the reason. Also, being from Florence, which is in Tuscany, it all just seemed to make a lot of sense. So
in addition to that, it will pair really well with the sweetness of the gelato. So you know, the olive oil gelato is going to bring that, obviously the olive oil aspect of it out, but it's sweet. So you're pairing sweet with a little bit more savory. And so therefore I think it would pair really well, and you wouldn't lose the olive oil flavor in that as well.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I've tried all sorts of olive oils, and it depends on the preference.
Sorry, I'm adjusting this because it's starting to get a little wonky. Okay, so and then once that's done, you throw it in the oven, and
for this quick.
The first 10 minutes you want it to be at 450, and then the last 20 minutes you want to finish it off at 350. And then really what you're going for is just this really nice kind of golden brown. You can see the fingerprints from the
from my fingers, basically. And so when you have the olive oil out, what makes it really nice is that this pan, it just obviously can't stick out. But it depends if some people like it a little bit more crispy. That 450 for 10 minutes will start off that crispiness, and then you can finish it off. Depending on your oven, you might need a little bit more than a total of a half hour. 10 minutes, 450, and then 350 for the remainder of the time. Once it starts to get that golden brown, and then the brown on the bottom, it's so pretty.
So it's kind of, what's the difference between that and focaccia? Because it looks like the width is the same, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's super similar. I mean, I couldn't tell you exactly what the difference is between the two.
I can pronounce focaccia. That's what the difference is. You were being jerky and decided to bring something I couldn't pronounce into it.
Schiacciata, I think, just by nature, though, tends to call for quite a bit of olive oil throughout the whole process of baking it, whereas focaccia can be more of a savory bread that is fluffier. I would say Schiacciata, if you go to Italy, you'll find that it's crunchier on top, kind of crunchier on the bottom, and kind of fluffy in the center, whereas focaccia is just kind of a nice floury, kind of doughy bread. It's also, you can add, I think traditionally with focaccia, you can add, you know, your own toppings and whatnot. Schiacciata typically is just the bread. You would use it to make a sandwich or, yeah, so those are kind of the main differences from my experience.
Or just eat it whole like I do.
Oh yeah, that whole thing would be gone.
Yeah. If you take too long to go to the bakery every morning, it's gone. It's the first thing that's gone. By experience.
Which is why you have to learn how to make it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now I'm never without. Yeah. So it's very easy. It's very delicious. You know, you can dip it in things. You can make obviously the ice cream paninis with them. You can do whatever you want. It goes well with everything.
So on that note, I was going to go ahead then, since we're about the halfway point, start to make the gelato with you guys. So to start, she's playing with the camera a little bit more. So to start, I have 5 whole egg yolks, and then I have 1 cup of sugar, and then I have 2 cups of milk, and I believe a half cup of cream. And so really what you want to do is put all of these ingredients all together, and you'll need some sort of an immersion blender to be able to blend it all up. So I'm just going to toss all these ingredients together.
And as people are, as you're doing that and people are madly writing down and being like, I can't remember how many egg yolks you said, all of this is going to be on our website with, you know, the directions and recipe and all of that for both the bread and the gelato. So it's all there for you guys. You don't have to freak out and be like, why is there no rewind on Instagram? First of all, it's live. Second of all, yeah, you will be able to hop onto our website, which is just pasolivo.com, and all of the information will be on there. We will also after, I keep bugging him, so I don't want to bug him too much, but afterwards we will make sure that you guys know about Leo Gelato's website and how to touch base with them and that sort of thing, and where exactly their home is that has the unlocked door. So we'll get all of that covered after the ice cream making. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. And then we're going to add to all of that the olive oil, the Pasolivo Tuscan olive oil.
So far we have the milk, the cream, the egg yolks, the sugar.
Yep, it's all together.
The salt is in there?
I typically like to kind of add that toward the end, but yeah, you can add a little bit of salt.
I mean, don't let me peer pressure you. I have no idea what's going on here.
Not at all. And so then, just a simple immersion blender that you would use for soup. You go ahead and just blend it all together. And the key here is also to try to somewhat get all of the sugar fully emulsified within the milk, because it's all cold. It will dissolve itself while we heat it, because of course we need to pasteurize because we are using raw eggs. All right, so that's done. And then we're going to go ahead and get our saute pan out. So I'm going to move the camera over so you can see this step too. All right, so we're going to go ahead and fire this up. Now, when it comes to pasteurizing, what pasteurization is, it's a way to kill any sort of pathogens that might exist in a raw product like eggs. And so the purpose of this is actually to cook or heat it up to the point where nothing in it can harm you when it's consumed. But what's important here is you don't want it to cook to a point where it becomes a sort of a custard. Where it gets clumpy, you want it to kind of maintain a really nice, smooth texture. You don't want it to curdle. And so the point here is to kind of warm it up until you start to see it kind of steam a little bit, and then kind of get to a point where you can kind of lightly simmer it. Do you have
an idea of temperature that you're trying to reach at all?
Yeah, usually 155 is the temperature you want to hit. But if you when you get to that point where it's starting to steam, and when you start to see it slowly bubble, you know that you're very close to the pasteurization. I'm sorry, to the boiling point, which of course is much warmer than 155. Thank you, assistant.
Okay. And have you got it on high or medium or low?
You can kind of start off on the high side, and you don't want to burn the bottom of it. So, but I mean, as long as you keep moving it, you're going to be okay. It's kind of like warming milk. I mean, if you want to use warm milk and you want to use it within your drink, I mean, you want to kind of slowly get it to that point. And of course, if you do cook a little bit to the bottom of the pan, it's not the end of the world. So, yeah, so then once you kind of have this done, let's see, I just want to make sure we're good on time. I did bring home my own gelato mix that would have been ready for us to go ahead and just toss into the ice cream maker. So typically, you really can make ice cream two different ways. If you don't have an ice cream maker, that's okay. You can also just put it into a bowl and put it in the freezer, and overnight it'll freeze, so that the next day when you come out and you bring it out, it'll be nice and smooth and creamy for you to be able to scoop and apply to a gelato sandwich, or of course if you just want to put it into a bowl and throw some chocolate syrup over the top. So
straight in your mouth.
Or straight in your mouth, yeah.
Some people have more patience than others. I don't have any patience right now.
Or you can use an ice cream maker, and an ice cream maker I have here, it's kind of funny. This is about 10 years old. This was the first ice cream maker I bought.
Aww.
The time that we started to conceive Leo Leo Gelato. And they're really simple to use. The night before you make ice cream, this particular machine has a bowl that is almost like an ice pack where you need to freeze it overnight so that when you actually put the mix into it, the walls are nice and cold. One suggestion, I would not put dry ice in it to try to cool it quickly. I made that mistake because what happens is it gets way too cold, and as soon as you pour everything in there, it just turns into a block of goodness. So I'm gonna grab the bowl, be right back.
And somebody asked the same question that I was considering, was using the microwave, and I know that can't be old country supported, but I mean, when you're like, oh, when you warm up milk for a drink, I'm like, I toss it in the microwave and push 30 seconds. I don't know. Am I the only slacker around? Well, probably.
No, but
I have zero patience. But so that, you've got the old country thing going on. What if you tossed all of that in the microwave? Is that just like, what are you thinking, or is that a doable thing?
I mean, it's doable. It's just you're gonna get really clumpy particles. You're not gonna like it nearly as much. This doesn't.
Okay, so don't do it, people. Don't do it. Don't put your milk in the microwave. Back away from the microwave. Get yourself a pot or a pan and take some time out to stir some milk. Okay, got it.
All good things are worth waiting for. So, and just taking your time and making sure it's all emulsified. I mean, I get it. It has a little bit of time. It happens within minutes. It doesn't take very long for you to get to that point. So I mean, guess my short answer, yes, you can. Is it preferable? No. Preferable? No. All right.
So you said you can also just put it in a bowl and put it in the freezer. Are we waiting for it to completely cool before we do that, or can it just go straight?
You're right. Yes, good point. So yes, you will take the mix and you put it in the fridge, cool it down. You don't want to put this directly into this. No, you'll want it to be nice and cold. So that too will likely need to sit overnight. So that it's at that 33, 34 degree temperature, which is what this mix is sitting at. So yeah, that's a good point. So with that, we'll go ahead and this has all of the ingredients that we've talked about. So we're going to go ahead and just toss it all in there. This too will take some time. So I do have prepared some gelato from the Gelateria that is ready for us to eat. But I'm going to go ahead and just turn this on. So now what's happening is you have a fixed piece inside of here while the bowl is turning, and what it's doing is it's scraping the edge of the bowl so that all the little pieces that are freezing are all being kind of mixed in. I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to pick it up and show you, but different ice cream makers do different things, but I wanted to be able to show your audience, if they were interested in using their ice cream machine, that you definitely can, and this is one way of doing it.
I've always wanted to validate buying an ice cream machine, and I'm like, I have no idea where to start. I just want ice cream just whenever I want it, so it'd be so nice. And now I have a reason for going and buying an ice cream machine, because now I have a recipe.
You do.
Yay! A gelato recipe, no less.
Yes.
Oh, it's 0 to 60, people. Yes.
Yes. Well, no, I mean, it's fun. It's something that you want to have, the whole family get involved with. And it's, I don't know, it's fun to make a mess and do something that's special and unique. So, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how we're going to do the panini. So I'm going to grab the finished gelato. I have 2 pints here. And for the panini, all you need to do is, Where's the finished bread?
Ta-da!
So we're going to take the finished bread. And what I did was essentially just kind of cut this thing into in half. And then
You're sure what it looks like on the inside? I'm very proud of
yeah, cut it in half again, so you have this really
Oh,
pretty.
wow, look at that. Oh my gosh.
So delicious.
Oh my gosh, that looks squishy and amazing.
And then just cut this in half also, and just kind of pry it open. We'll kind of put it in a bowl. Now, and then you just take your.
By the way, that teamwork is impeccable. I just want to give you a nod for that. That was amazing.
I know I actually could use a plate instead of a bowl. I'd probably look better for presentation. But you can see here, this is finished, and I do have this gelato, just so everybody knows, it is available right now at the store. And I will have these pre-packed pints there as well starting tomorrow.
Ooh.
All made again with Pasolivo olive oil. And again, the store being at the Paso Market Walk. So,
when do you guys open?
We're open from noon to 9, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, we're open from noon to 8. We're closed Monday, and then we're open Tuesday through Thursday from noon to 8.
Wow, so you guys are open late.
Yeah.
That's when people like their gelato.
No, hey, you know what? If the bars were open, I mean, you and I would have a different kind of conversation, because that sounds, who needs Taco Bell when you can have gelato? I just didn't realize that we were that classy of an area that you could, you know, have some cocktails and then go have gelato at 9 o'clock at night. I mean, that's amazing. Or at 8:45.
And then in the summer months, once all of this starts to go away, we do plan on being open until 10 o'clock. And in the Paso Market Walk, there are other foods too. You can come in. There's Momotaro Ramen. Our neighbors are Paso Wine Merchant. We have the Brewery next door. Joe Bella has coffee. There'll be 2 new restaurants. One's called Finca. Another one is going to be a whiskey bar at some point, I believe. So yeah, there'll be some options to come through, enjoy the walk, go to the restaurants, and then.
You guys are like a one-stop shop. So you can go there for some wine, then some dinner, and then some dessert, all right there. There's some beautiful outside seating, so I just want to make sure people know that it is super safe and super easy to swing by, get something, and sit outside. It's the way that it's been set up is just really beautiful, like just aesthetically gorgeous how they've set it up too. So it's a nice place to wander around.
Yeah.
And they also have live music a lot of times as well. So there are a lot of options, and it's really fun. It's between 18th and 19th on Spring Street.
So real quick, so I'm going to finish this off before the gelato starts to melt. But you can see here, you know, the texture with the olive oil is just amazing.
Dreamy.
It's super soft.
It's so good.
And fluffy and just killer. So with this, I like to get a nice healthy serving. And what in my opinion, I would make this bread fresh and then do these. Oh, and I only say that because not only do you get the sweet and savory as being something that's really fun, but also the warm and the cold is really cool too.
Yeah, there's the extra scoop. I was wondering.
So just go nuts on that.
Oh man. And
then we, in true Italian fashion, add some more olive oil to it. You just have a really pretty dessert.
Oh my gosh. That looks amazing. Yeah. Wow.
All right. That's the panini.
I mean, I didn't know what to expect, and I am super thrilled. And I really like the idea of the air pockets in the bread, because the ice cream is going to melt into those air pockets and make a good, big, squishy yumminess situation going on. That's professional talk.
And I don't know why he's showing this off without eating it. Probably because I want it.
Because you should have first bite. Oh my gosh.
It's really, really good.
Oh my gosh. So there's the sweetness, there's the creaminess, there's the cold, there's the crunchy, there's there's just so much going on. I love the play with that sort of stuff, with the mouthfeel, with the flavors. Yeah, and like you said, even temperature wise, if you have the bread fresh. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a showstopper, definitely, for anybody who's trying to make something for a date, for friends, family, you know, whoever's in your COVID circle, whatever that looks like. That is, I mean, that's just an amazing situation. And something that I don't think anybody knew what we were getting into. I was excited. I had no idea what we were getting into, and the end result is,
delicious.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you. So, okay. Yeah. I wanted to make sure that we covered your website and stuff, and how people can follow you. Are you, obviously you're on Instagram. How do people follow you from here on out?
We're on Instagram, all the social media platforms, Facebook and Twitter. And so we try to stay current on each platform. And then, of course, we have, again, our scoop shop at the Paso Market Walk off Spring Street in between 18th and 19th Street. And then if you happen to be in different parts of the county, you're more than welcome to email us info@leoleogelato.com. And we'll be glad to steer you to the closest business to you that carries our products. And
And do you have a website?
Yes, the website is www.leoleogelato.com.
All right. And somebody's asking if you ship. I think you were saying that you're working on that right now. You do ship.
We do ship, and our website is up and running, so you can order through our website. It's super straightforward. When you put in your order, we ship on Thursdays. Place your order by Thursday, and then Monday we ship it out. And right now we're servicing the list of the states that we service is on the website. But right now it's really Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Arizona. These are all states that a company called GSO services, because it is next day delivery.
Got it. Okay.
And one last thing too is that Leo Gelato is participating in the Keep It Local program, which is through the city of Paso Robles. And if you go to the city's website, you can even just Google search in their website Keep It Local, and you'll see a list of a lot of participants. And there's a link for Leo Gelato directly to the website where you can buy gift cards, digital gift cards at 20% off. And what that does is supports local businesses, and also gives a discount to the people who are helping us out, which we really love, and we really appreciate everyone's business and support through these times.
Yep.
That it's extremely important, and I think Paso, especially just recently with news that I've been reading, is getting hit hard because we are such a town of small business, self-owned businesses. We're not just chock full of the same stores that you're going to see as you're doing your road trips. These are going to be brand new stores for you. These are going to be family-owned businesses, and it is extremely important to try to keep those alive. Paso, that's why everybody falls in love with it. That's what the allure is because everybody's happy here because people own their own businesses, and they're their own boss. And so you're seeing that on a lot of different levels. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
I think I disappeared, but now I'm back. It's important to make sure that we keep that alive, because the last thing we need is just a lot of the strip mall type stuff that you see everywhere. I'm going to get off my high horse on that whole concept, but I love the fact that you're bringing that up, because it's really important. So thank you very much for bringing that up.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of
all right. Well, so there's going to be a whole list there of different businesses that would be really happy to get some support and just keep uplifted, because there's Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming at him from a lot of different directions right now. So thank you for bringing that up.
Absolutely.
Well,
All right.
thank you very much for showing us an amazing meal that I'm going to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because, I mean, you can't put that in a specific, you can't pigeonhole that meal. That's what I like about it.
Right.
And tomorrow, I think everybody's going to head over there and get themselves some Pasolivo olive oil gelato.
Bravo, brava.
Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Have a fantastic weekend.
Thank
Happy
you.
Friday.
Happy
I'm going to be talking about next week and what we've got coming up next week, because we've got some good stuff coming up next week too.
Awesome.
And everybody, if you ever want the recipes, if you want the bundles, they're all on our website, the pasolivo.com website. So hop on there and check it out. You can just type in gelato and you'll be able to pull up the recipe. Next week, we are going to be using the tangerine extra virgin, or the tangerine olive oil, and our fig balsamic, my favorite, because we are going to be working with Chef Andre Kibrick from 15 Degrees C Wine Shop in Templeton. So he's going to be creating, get this, he's going to be creating a beet salad with honey, goat cheese, and fig balsamic dressing using our tangerine and our fig balsamic. So these two are coming at you. Whoop, there we go. These two are coming at you next week, and I am ecstatic about it because this sounds fantastic. I'm always excited about beets and then get stumped and have no idea what to do with them. This sounds amazing, really fresh, really healthy, beautiful, beautiful marriage of flavors here. So we've got the beet salad with honey goat cheese and a fig balsamic dressing using our tangerine and our fig. Those two I usually don't pair up in our tasting room, so I'm really excited to see how these two pair up together and why he paired these two up together for our salads next week. So that is next week, January 29th. We're done with January. Get out of here, January. Maybe next month will be better. I hope your month has been great. I hope your 2021 is working out decently so far. If not, don't worry about it. We're here for you. We'll get through this together. And thank you very much for joining. It's always a pleasure to have you. Have a fantastic weekend. Great rest of your Friday. And we will see you next week. Always remember, if you make any of these recipes, take a picture of it, send it to us, Instagram us, tag us. We want to see all of your beautiful creations. I take pictures of my stuff and then go, it's not half as pretty as all the other stuff that's posted. Post it anyway, because we all want to see what you're making. We all want to see how everything is being pulled together in everybody's kitchen, because we're right there with you. We are, like I said, we're laymen. So have a fantastic weekend. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you, and it's amazing always to see you on the other side. So this is on Instagram, this is going to be on our YouTube, this is on our Facebook. So if you want to revisit this to follow along, then that's where you should go. All right. Bye, guys. Happy weekend. Bye.